My evil stepmom story in one part. My stepmom was a brilliant manipulator. I was 8 when she pointed to her high heel shoes and told me if I didn't shut up, she was going to put those shoes on and crush my toes. My dad worked all day, so my sister and I and stepmom's 2 girls were together without him. There was always a very clear line, her real daughters versus us, and she made sure we knew it. She runs her own business, often during the summer in a southern state, left the 4 kids in the car to go inside of places and conduct business. I remember once we were in the car for 2+ hours, and my biosis needed to use the bathroom. Stepmom had told us the alarm in the car would go off if we opened the door, and we didn't want to make her mad, so I held an empty Gatorade bottle under my sis so she could go. I didn't really understand as a kid that I could use the word abuse for situations like this. But I did try to tell my dad, in the words and tears I had as a child, what was happening during the day. The thing is, when he was around, her demeanor completely changed. She was bubbly and sweet and had all of the right things to say. She told him over and over that I, the child, was manipulating him when I'd cry and try to tell him these stories. As an adult, dad and stepmom child, that I perceived things incorrectly because I wasn't yet an adult. The irony is, she's still this way today. I relived a childhood moment as a now grown woman and mother just days ago. I asked a simple question. She took offense. My dad was in the other room on the phone. The entire mood and her nonverbals got all heavy, intense. She was angry, and she let me know it. I came in low, asked if my question had rubbed her the wrong way, tried to share what my intention was, tried bridging the gap in understanding. She wasn't having it. She just scowls and has this really tense look about her. Dad walks in. Her face and tone completely shift. The shock of it all, the realization I was reliving exactly the same type of story I remember sharing over and over as a kid and never being heard, it overtook me. I realized in that moment that Dad hadn't seen the beginning of the conversation, my quite innocent question, my multiple attempts to get back on the same page with her. He hadn't seen her furiously cleaning the kitchen table, snapping cold little remarks my direction. All he could see is what she would show him, and the look on my face as I relived the nightmare, choking down tears. I attempted a couple of times to let him in on the conversation, but the emotion I was feeling overtook my ability to be as clear and collected as I'd previously been, before he walked in. So I let the tears out. She looked at him, raised a hand in disgust at the emotional show I'm sure she'd later convince him I was putting on, rolled her eyes and walked away. I just picked up my little one, said, "Dad, we'll just leave." We were at their house, and walked out crying, letting my husband know we're leaving now. I couldn't get to the safety of our car fast enough. The driveway felt like miles. I can't really put into words the brevity of this situation or the way I felt completely exposed and quite stupid for letting her do this again. I've lived with this pain and I can bat it down again. It changed me, made me brutally honest, because I have such a disdain for anything that sounds like a half-truth. Manipulation is my arch nemesis, so might as well boldly speak the truth, even when it's ugly. So, I have adapted to the reality of the pain my stepmom caused and have learned to cope in my own way. But what I cannot deal with is the idea that my baby will experience the same secondhand treatment that I did, and he'll know it, feel its sting like I did. He will not be the favored grandchild. In fact, it's already clear that he isn't. I don't ever want him to experience this, and I'm considering moving away from them because of it. The toxicity is still there, 20+ years later, and it still hurts me. I wish it didn't.